I mean, you're actually recording now on this. We're on.
Great evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Let the Madness Begin. Going Coleman, Marshawn Taylor, and guess what? It's cold outside.
It's comfy season. It's comfy season. It's comfy season.
They say it may snow.
Oh man, you definitely time for you to cup up.
Find something warm, keep you warm at night.
You better throw that blanket in the dryer and wrap up in that.
Of course, yeah. Or just find you a big booty freak.
Oh, big, okay. All right, big booty freak. I got you. Yeah.
Oh man, so how you been this week? It's been an interesting week,
Yeah, man. Jobs been interesting. Plotting to take over. They better watch out. Shut the site down.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do take over.
Shut it down. Negotiate my price.
That's how you're supposed to do, man.
Yeah.
Every day.
So,
oh man, so you came up with an interesting topic for us today.
A few topics, yeah, but we'll go with the Black agenda, which should be on. Like I said, which the things we should be focused on. Like I said, the new year is has started. We're already rolling into month number 2. As of next, actually in a couple of days, more days, we'll be Tuesday, February. Yeah, we'll be into February.
Black History Month for y'all who still celebrate.
Yeah, and like I said, I think I'm gonna throw a few things out that we're done here about what we're gonna do for Black History Month, for Black History. So with that being said, I think from this point on, not just for the year, but here on out, the things we should focus on as a community, a people, a force. Union, however you want to address it, a team, a village, a city, town, a parish, we the Black people is what need to be done. I feel we should be working on.
We the Black delegation.
Okay, we're still from Dave Chappelle. We the Black delegation. Okay. Yeah.
And now I put a disclaimer.
Go ahead.
They told Ice Cube he wasn't Black when he came up with the Black agenda. So
I mean, yeah. I understand that, but at the same time, he had a very good point, and it takes a lot of thought to put something even like that together in mind with a lot of stuff that he's involved in. And a lot of times we feel, and I think a lot of people had an issue with that because he didn't present it to not his predecessor, number 44 himself, President Barack Hussein Obama, and he said they weren't interested because he said he had it for years. He's even let them know he had this agenda and nobody was interested in what he wanted to hear. He said the crazy thing is Donald Trump would hear him out. Donald Trump, would hear him out. But actually, President Joe Biden actually was listening to what he, what it was on, which I think is says a lot when you can get the ear of the great leader of the free world, as we call him, as he's mentioned on numerous occasions.
I agree.
So, and I feel these are the things we need to get back to, or exactly start honing on things. And we'll start with like the financial stuff. There's no such thing as a get quick rich scheme. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody gets lucky. The only kind of scheme like that is the lottery. Am I wrong, right or wrong? Or you play the numbers, where hey, you play it one time, you get lucky enough, and you just happen to be the winner. Now there are instances where like things with certain things all of a sudden gain value, but even then that takes time and some kind of investment,
right,
to put into it. Because like I said, on get rich quick, a lot of times, it takes time because either you're making somebody rich and before you actually get rich a lot of these times.
Of course.
It's how it works, because like in system. Yeah, because in the beginning, like the e-commerce thing, I remember somebody came up in the beginning, a lot of them were pyramid schemes. Mm-hmm. Hey, okay, I'll put you on down for $40. Now what you need is go get 5 more people. Now you get 5 more people and they contribute $40. you get $80.
Mhm.
And then when they go do that, you get such and such dollars.
Mhm.
And then in turn, they get X amount of dollars, and so forth and so forth. You know, like I said, it takes time. You know, like for instance, what was the big thing last year? Or the year before last, you paid the money into a pool and you wait your turn to
the African thing that nobody in Africa said claimed they did, but we as Black people adopted it.
But go ahead. I forgot the name of it.
I forgot the name of it, but yeah, it's like you put a certain amount of money in, and it's a community pot, and then it'll pay out to certain people. Then you keep putting money in, then pay out to certain people.
But at the same time, you had to get people to come in on it for it to continue to work. Now, like I said, it always starts out, you got to put time and money into it and invest into it. Because why? You got to put your money in and get other people to put in, and other people and other people. And by the time it's your turn, whenever it's your turn, you got other people to put in on it. Which, like I said, if you got the money and the patience to invest in that, or say invest, I'm gonna say, because mind you, it is an investment, because there'll be a chance that 4 or 5 people decided not to pay. You know, I'm guilty of that too. And it's not because you know, it's just like after I thought about it for a while, you know, I'd have to wait 6 to 8 weeks before I even say kind of, you know, repayment, regardless of how much it's going to be, you know. Because you think about it, if you work 2 weeks, say for instance, everybody so far is getting $2,000. But if you go to work and you get paid $2,000 a check, you know, where's the? I mean, you pretty much breaking off even, more or less. Even though it's $2,000 you never had before, you know, but you know, but you had to put in $100, you know, but then you had to get other people to pay in. They had to pay $100, and then they had to get a certain amount of people, and they had to pay $100, you know. So, I mean, that's where we're at. But I mean, yeah, and I think like I said, financially, we need to get back, you know, get a firm holding of do better things with our dollar bill, you know. And I'm saying, hey, we shouldn't just invest in just Black businesses. I say businesses that that invest and believe in us as well, because it, you know, it does help to have businesses, even though they may not be Black owned. They support the Black community, you know, and I mean, and they contribute, you know. So I'm not gonna count like Budweiser and we got that.
St. Ives.
St. Ives don't count either.
Cobra.
Cobra. Anything that takes away from, yeah. Colt 45, Cobra, the Bull, you know, Smith Law,
malt liquor.
Yeah, Smith's malt liquor.
That all twin.
Yeah. They might want to offer you the most money to sponsor an event, sponsor what you got going on. But my thing is this, you know, and with that being said, you know, yeah, Jay-Z has the Made in America Festival sponsored by Budweiser. By all means, I can understand, hey, they're gonna pay you the money put together, but at the same time, like, you know, that's what we need to focus on as a people. You know, hey, putting money into businesses that believe in us, and we should put our belief into businesses that are for us. You know, Black, white, Korean, whatever. You know, at the same time, you know, hey, we need to be holding each other down financially. No, I ain't say pay each other's bills. I am not saying, hey, just give my Sean $100. You know, he said, I keep saying I should owe him. I owe him like thousands of dollars or whatever from all the places I've been. But hey, we'll push forward and ignore that comment. So, but I mean, still, we should believe in each other as a whole.
Spencer.
Oh Lord, yeah. Okay. Keep the IOU. It's on the way. Keep the IOU. It'll pay off soon.
It's not just y'all. It's a bunch of people right now.
She's gonna say he taking names, y'all. So we're surprised to give you a call. But yeah, financially, yeah. And like I said, we need to get our finances together. You know, because we talk about these big things about houses, cars. Let's say hot things of value. We want land. We want houses. We want. And then we could talk about the things that, and then on the other hand, we won't talk about these things that depreciate in value, you know, like cars, certain types of jewelry, clothes, you know. I mean, you know, it's like your boys say, there's 2 things in this world that matter the most: guns and butter. You know what I'm saying? Guns and butter. It's 2 there. There's a difference.
That's true.
There's a difference. There's and it's true what he said. Even though it don't make sense, but if you really think about it, it makes a whole lot of sense. Guns and butter.
That is true.
You got to get you got to figure out what's guns and what's butter.
Yeah.
And what do you say? What do you say? What guns were?
What was guns? The people who take, or
People who take.
the people who take, and the people who get taken. I forgot. But yeah.
Butter is what stuff that they don't depreciate in value.
Guns and butter. Yeah.
Guns and butter.
I like that.
Yeah. So now, what do you think about now, in your sense, what I've said about so far the financial part?
Okay. Well, first off, I lost money in that African pyramid scheme.
No, and I'm gonna say no, it's not, and that's a crazy thing. People, and it was never an African thing. It was a thing in the Black community years ago, but it was always. But we'll touch on that another time. I don't know why people were saying that though.
Yeah,
that was so crazy.
Maybe that's why I lost money, because we put Africa in front of it.
Exactly.
But
right.
The interesting part about that is, as I'll start here and then I'll go here.
Do that.
We do not have patience, therefore we will never garner wealth.
That's right.
People who have wealth don't have wealth because they got it overnight. Some people, wealth didn't come to them till they were 80.
True.
With that being said, some people didn't become wealthy until they were able to inherit what their family had started.
True.
As Black people, we don't know how to do either. We're so hell-bent on it has to come to us easy. That's why we sell drugs.
Right.
Because it has to come to us easy. It has to be a way around it. And there's no way around work.
True. And don't stay on that, but keep that. I don't want you to lose your spot, because I'm gonna stop you there. Why we do that? Because you know why? We see certain things as symbols as well of wealth.
Okay.
And I think that's the issue we have. We see other people have it and they have X amount of income or there's certain bracket. We should have these things. And like you said, go back to me saying we don't want to put in the work, the same kind of work they put in. It may not be that their family may have done previously, and previously is so. And we're not going to say slavery is a whole different thing, but just in general, the work was put in to build up to, maybe not great granddaddy had the wealth, but granddaddy started seeing a little something, and now daddy's seeing is benefiting from it. Now son is seeing a whole great benefit from it. Okay, go ahead, Ford. I mean, interrupt.
No. I'm glad you interrupted. And actually, we don't want to put in the work. So I'll take a segue to the slavery part. Okay. Yes, we can say they made money off the back of our free labor. Yes, they did. They screwed us over. Yes, they did. They did all these things that kept us down. Yes, they did. So now that we know this, why do we keep falling behind those traps? But that's a different story. I want to bring that up because at the end of the day, if I know for a fact that girl is burning, but I still choose to sleep with her,
what do we do different? What do we do different?
So we know that. So we'll leave that right there. So the work, and when I say work, I honestly, and this is, I think this is true, and it's not 100% accurate. So I don't want people to think this, but if you really look at the African American community, we are built on get quick rich schemes.
Okay,
we're built on that. Our whole economic system is built on that.
Right.
How you figure that, Marshawn? I'm glad you asked. Because you got people who claim they have a business, but it's not legit. That's get quick rich scheme.
Right.
You got people out here who will rob you to make money for themselves, while at the same time trying to tell you need to get your money up. We will dance for money. We will do porn for money. We would do everything else for money except actually put in the work. Because in the Black community, a 9 to 5 is just ugly. Think about this. If I'm lying, then why do we have OnlyFans women? So if I'm lying, then somebody
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
OnlyFans. Oh, okay.
So in other words, the Black community don't want to work. And I know our saying is they've been calling us lazy since we stopped working for free. No, we've been lazy since we realized that we would never catch up to them financially, which is the biggest lie ever told. You can catch up to them financially.
Because you know what we're doing financially? We put money in your pockets buying these products.
That's the problem.
Right.
So when you look at the African American community,
We financing the wrong shit.
right before the walls of Jim Crow fell, we had a whole, and I use the term ecosystem,
True.
that kept us afloat.
Right.
To the point that, remember, we had our own colleges. Let's
stop with the colleges, but we'll say we had our own education system.
That's what I'm about to say. We had our own education
Yeah.
system. I mean, we produce leaders.
Right.
We produce professional people. We produce people who are in
blue collar, white collar people.
trading.
Yeah.
Hot word, trading. We produce those people. We produce well-rounded individuals who were financially connected to our community, and that's where we lost, because when the walls of Jim Crow fell.
But back up, but to include, remember, masonry,
Right.
welders, carpenters,
Exactly.
doctors,
Mhm.
policemen,
Because during Jim Crow, you couldn't go
lawyers.
see a white doctor.
Right.
So how you see a
lawyers.
doctor?
Right.
You could have a white lawyer.
So yeah.
So you had your own lawyers.
So but back to your walls of Jericho.
So
I mean Jim Crow.
Jericho, yep, that's what it is.
Jim Crow.
But when those walls fell, the distrust in our community grew. So all of a sudden, we had the system set up. We were financially separated. You could say we was close to being emancipated for real financially, which
Right.
was the key to any wealth in this community, in this country, is to be financially emancipated from the country. In other words, your financial dollars are so strong within your community that the government cannot touch you. And if you think I'm playing, look at other communities. The government does not touch the Jewish community, but the Jewish community changes laws. The government does not touch the Asian community, but the Asian community changes law. The government does not touch the Latin community. They claim they're us, but they're stronger. So they're like, yeah, we'll rock with y'all to get some things from y'all, but really we're strong. Guess what? The government changes to help them. In other words, we lose because we're so divided financially. So I saw this guy, black guy, he's supposed to be a financial advisor. He's one of the biggest issues in the black community. And the reason why I say that is because we as black people love to see misery more than we love to see success. And this is a prime example of it. So a lot of people, Odell Beckham, when he signed his contract with the Rams, he got it in Bitcoin. He's not the first athlete to do that. A lot of athletes done that.
Right.
At the time he did that, everybody's like, oh, that's a great job to include this guy. So if you know, and you know this, but if you know, it fluctuates.
True.
Just like
Very
stock.
true.
So apparently, it's dipping lately.
Yeah, it's dipped down a lot. Like, yeah.
So now they're like, well, his contract was worth this. Now it's not worth that much anymore. Was it still a good buy or something like that? And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, why are you playing that man? Right. If you really a financial person, you wouldn't even worry about that. You'd be like, you understand, when you go into these investments, you got to be prepared. You got to hunker down.
Right.
You know why?
Lose the money.
Because that's what white people do.
Right.
That's what Asian people do. Every other race does it. They're like, look, we know it's going to fluctuate. We'll flush it down. But you know what? We'll hold on to stock. People held on to IBM stock and they've dropped it.
You know what? They held on to that one day it's going to come and it's going to hit hard.
Exactly.
And that's what people understand about investment. Now, there's some of us that do it, but not enough of us are doing it.
But see, the problem is like with that guy who calls himself a financial advisor, to me, you're what's wrong with the black community. You're a predator. You prey on people that take my course. I'll teach you how to do this. I'll teach you how to do that. And really, all you're doing is teaching them something that they can read in a book.
Yeah, you do.
But more importantly, you are not teaching them anything because you don't want to see nobody successful. If you are about financial literacy as you claim to be, and this is something that I want black people to understand, the fruit of a person's labor is not because of the wealth they have behind them, but the knowledge to gain that wealth.
Pass it on.
Exactly. You're going to fluctuate the stocks, but that goes with patience. As black people,
on.
With that statement alone, that lets me know, number one, you don't have patience. So you can't teach somebody financial. It's patient. It's like putting money in the bank. Well, that's not a good investment. You don't get that much interest. You may not, but guess what? You put it in the bank, you're still going to collect a little bit of interest. It's still going to grow. that's still not a bad investment.
But you know what banks also have? They also have financial advisors in the bank. So you can sit there, like I tell people,
and they're free.
They're free. They'll tell you what you do.
Yes.
Like even in certain banks, like for instance, Navy Federal Credit Union, if you get, like you say you open a savings account, if you get X amount of dollars, it becomes a money market account.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll sit down and tell you what you can do with the money. They'll give you options. You have to, hey, you got X amount of dollars. You have now an official money market account. When you like to sit down, that's what happened to me. When would you like to sit down and talk to, and I don't think it's financial advisor, but it's pretty much what he is on what to do to get a greater investment.
Right.
And that's what you need to have, because like I said, you can do it. Like I said, a little research, a little reading. You can do it yourself, but sometimes these same people know the ins and outs.
That's the key.
How to beat the tax bracket, because a lot of times now they want to start having people that's investing in cryptocurrency. They want to start taxing them.
Mm-hmm.
So there are ways around it, and that's good to have people like that know how to pretty much beat the system. Like I said, they know what corners to cut.
But we'll rather listen to Timmy on the block.
So yeah, it's
yo, give me your money, man. I'll flip it. Now he get knocked.
It's all good though,
and your money gone.
It's all good.
I said it. What you gonna do? Fight me? Am I lying? Yeah, I'm not lying. That's what we do. We listen to the worst people. We listen to the pastor. Give your money to the Lord while he's riding around and got BMW while you riding around in what? The bus pass. I said it. What he gonna do? Fight me? It is what it is. The thing is we have the worst people in position that try to lead us. And when it comes to finances, we listen to the worst people. Why? Because realistically, we don't want to see each other succeed. We hate success in our community. And because as soon as you succeed, then I'm mad at you. If you succeed right now, I'm going to take something from you. So you can't live here with me no more. But if you move, then I'm going to call you a sellout. Okay. So finances is the only thing that can save us. But the problem is we have to retrain ourselves to say, I understand this world is against me. I understand that this country has set up pitfalls. I understand that these pitfalls have taken a lot of my brothers and sisters. However,
we see them coming all the time.
Exactly. That's my point. You see them coming all the time. So what's my goal? We sit up here. We literally think about this. I want people to think about this for a moment. A rapper who rapped himself out the hood still gives the justice system how much money a year to stay out of it. He doesn't give it to the community. He gives it to the justice system, which in turn uses that to fund the police who harass you. It's the rapper's fault because they rap themselves out of the hood, but they still want to do hood stuff. How much money do you think NBA YoungBoy has given? I mean, let's just keep it a buck. I mean, so
I want to do hood thing with my hood rat friend.
How much money you think Boosie have gave? And these are people y'all want to follow? So we got bad people in position, and no, it's not a knock on them and their character, because I never knock a person's character because I don't know them personally. But I'm saying is, if you look at the whole thing, you have to ask yourself, who do we have in position that we could look at? Who do we have in position that we can say, you know what? They're doing what's right for themselves and their money. So that's something I want to follow, because we do the monkey see, monkey do.
Okay. So you know what? Since you pretty much segued into it, we're just going to go ahead. The next thing is the community.
Okay.
So carry on, my friend. Carry on, my friend.
Just the community is, first off, it doesn't exist. That's the other lie we tell. We don't have a community. We just have people who tolerate each other until they can either A, find someone else, or B, get tired of you and be able to move on. And the reason why I say that is because when you have a community, you have a unity. That's in community. So where's the unity? So can you have a community without unity?
No.
So do we have a community? We're still killing each other. So that's the other thing. How much money do we give how much money have we wasted in our community because we don't have unity? How many lives have been lost because we have no unity? So when you
much you devalued our neighborhood
because of no unity. If you have unity, first thing unity teaches you is to not kill your fellow man. That's what it is. First thing you learn when you are governed under the banner of unity, you will learn that my fellow man, even though I may not agree with them, I can still cherish their life. I can still give them value. So that's how you know we don't have unity, because we're killing each other over what?
Hey, man. Things of no value.
Exactly. And here's something that someone told me. When before you kill someone, ask yourself this: what's that person's potential?
Mm.
Because you
That's
may be
good.
killing someone that could have been saving your life one day, or you may have killed the person that could have saved one of your family members' life. You could have killed someone that could have came up with an invention to help this community. You could have killed someone who could have been the next Martin Luther King. You could have killed someone, and that's how we should look at it. We're not killing just another person. We're literally killing someone who probably was
someone of potential. Somebody
exactly.
of,
You're killing potential.
You know, actual character, eventually of character. Yeah.
Because you're not giving them the opportunity to grow.
Okay.
So once you take that person's life, that dream dies with them.
Okay.
So we have to look at our community and ask ourselves, well, where is the community? What happened to the community? What's going on in the community? And then we have to be honest with ourselves and say, you know what? Let's be real with our community. Let's really sit down and address some issues which we are scared to address. And I'll turn it over to you.
I like that. I think you pretty much said everything for us community. You know, now only part I do, you know what, I ain't gonna say disagree with, you know, but in a sense I can understand where you're coming from. We're a community by name and a concept, but the actual physical presentation of a community, we're far from that, and that's what we need to get back to trying to be. You know, like I said, one voice. You know, even though, like I said in the past, the leaders from the civil rights movement, you know, Malcolm, Martin, so forth, you know, even though they all didn't have the same ideas, they always had the same concept of what moving forward,
right,
as a community, you know, forward movement, you know. And I think we taking so many steps back, you know, and I don't think people understand that when we say steps back, because we're still dealing with the same issues.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, we keep saying we've addressed them, but we really haven't, because we're still dwelling in them, you know. Because my thing is this: by this time, we should have been trying to figure out how reparations should come about. That should have been like the thing we should have been working on. We still trying to figure out how to, you know, keep everything together in these neighborhoods that we call our community, or, you know, our homes. We oftentimes we speak about action, we put together a good plan, but we don't put it in action, or we do put it in action, but we don't stick with it. Like you said, we're not patient,
right?
You know, because everything is not going to happen overnight, and I think that's the issue we have. We're looking for overnight success, an overnight result. You know, immediate results. You know, all of a sudden, no, this is not the election. You know, no, these are lives. These are lives in the present. You know, that's dealt with the past, and they're trying to help lives in the future. You know, and like I said, we don't stand as strong as we used to as a community. So, but yeah, we like something like how you know put that, man. You know, just gonna move on. The next thing we're gonna see financial. What I was gonna say is mentally. We talked about mental overload some time ago, and I think we've mentally overloaded ourselves with things that we can really control, honestly. And like a lot of times, you always were told when you were younger, worry about yourself and not everybody else, whatever that's going on around you. Because a lot of times, and it's true, if you figure out, you concern yourself what's going on with you, everything else around you will work itself out.
Yes.
You know, you're too busy knowing what's going on with Peggy down the street. You know, hey, we worry about who Rhonda is bringing upstairs. You know, each different night. Is it the same man every night, or is it a different man from the club every night? Hey, you know,
I agree.
You know, we know little Ron dude down the you know, up the hall. You know, he'd be out back gambling. You know, and then he be sleeping with his sister's friend Keisha, from up the block, and then at the same time, the sister friend up the block, hey, her brother be selling all the drugs up the street, whatever. We do too much of that. We're telling everybody's business, Like, no. My thing is, if it's something good and positive, by all means, speak about it. But a lot of times, it's more or less we get mentally invested in these things with the negativity of what people's going or dealing with or doing, and we get so deep rooted in it to feel that it's our problem to talk about it. It's our thing, to think on it. Things that you deal with as a adult should never be a thought of a child. And I mean that to saying, like, your kid should never be concerned mentally about being hungry, clothless, shelterless, and it happens. The situation happens.
Yeah.
But those things should never be a thing of a primary, and I hate to say the kids should just basically be seen and I heard. It's not what I'm saying. It's a thing of where, it should never be always a deep concern of when their next meal is coming from, and they should be sheltered in some way.
Yeah.
In a sense. Because I think, like I said, if we start treating them like adults, and I think it's another issue we haven't, we try to be, a lot of us were trying to be adults too soon, sooner than we need to be. A lot of us try to process and speak and walk in the shadow of an adult when it's not our time yet.
I agree.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever, we do things, whatever form you want to say. We don't take care of ourselves mentally. We don't show each other how to take care of ourselves mentally. And I think that's why a lot of us are doing, there's more suicides now than there's ever been, or being recorded than ever.
Yeah.
And not just saying that it's never, like I said, we're never shown how to cope with pressure. A lot of times we're not shown how to deal with conflict. We're not being shown how to let things go. And that's one of the biggest issues. We don't know how to let things go. And it's not even just in our community, it's just generational wise. Because like I said, they take things too hard, and it sticks with them to the part where it bothers them, and it burdens them. My friend, we and I think we burden ourselves mentally when we really shouldn't be. We get old, we start looking older than we really should when we start doing things like that. Why am I worrying about the mortgage? I'm only 12 years old. I should be trying to figure out what the mortgage is. I'm trying to figure out how to spell the damn thing.
Because I got the answer for that.
Yeah, but I mean, what's your answer, man? What you got?
So let's go back to one of the things you said. Someone told me one time, they said, this is how you should look at information when it comes to other people. Are you trying to get it to help them or to hurt them?
True.
And that's if you are trying to get it to hurt them, then you don't need to know.
True.
You don't need to know nobody's business unless you're trying to help them. And as Black people, matter of fact, the Tasha K situation is a prime example of what's wrong with the Black community.
Okay.
She lied. She admitted to lying. She understands she lied. She literally admitted to lying.
Wow.
Because nothing she said about Cardi B was right. Nothing.
But she said she had a pimple on her booty, so that counted as herpes.
Nothing. Oh. Nothing. The person that she claims she got the information from don't want nothing about it. So everybody bailed on her. The problem with that is the fact that she was so happy to run with something negative about another minority person. Because at the end of the day, it was more important to bring down another female that was a minority female than it was to address issues in our community.
She was the one, Tasha K was the one I used to be talking, and she be drinking wine and all at the same time. Okay, so I was never a fan of her anyway.
And let that sink in, because when you look at our shows now, that's all we do is bring each other down.
Yeah.
That's all we want. We want your business because we want to know your business because we want to use it against you. You think you in an agreement with somebody, and all of a sudden when they get to a point where they can use it against you, they'll use it against you, Kwame Brown. So these are the things. No, he does, man. I sat there, listen, this man will bring up conversations he had with people on the side that had one-on-one conversation. He'll bring it to public. Like, that's nobody's business, but you do that because he is for.
No, go ahead, say it, man.
Black people will tear each other down, but let a white man spit in their face and ask for him to rain.
Mm.
You will literally sit up. If you think I'm lying, go to work. Watch how many black people tear each other down at work.
Oh,
And let the white man walk by them and treat them like crap. And they'll sit there with their tongue out talking about, let me lick your butt crack. I said it. What you gonna do? Fight me? You can't. You see these? It's getting bigger every day.
wow.
That's the truth. Black people will tear each other down. That's our goal. If you get a black person in power, oh, they letting that power go to their head. They just told you to do. Yeah. Why they telling me to do something? Because it's your damn job. Why you got a problem with that black person telling you to do your job? They just letting it go. No, they're telling you to do your job. The problem is that we don't think we could govern each other. So we turn against each other. We're quick to tear each other down. So once again, you tearing each other down, there's no unity. Guess what happens when you have no unity? In other words, we used to have a saying, protect each other at all costs. So you knew you had a black manager. You may not necessarily like that black manager, but you would protect them because you knew how important it was to have a black manager.
Right.
Now you the one talking about that black manager.
Right.
You the one bringing that black manager down. You
Right.
the one spreading the business. It used to be a time where you could do something with someone, and that would be between me and you. They say, you telling the whole world about it, tearing us down. We love to tear each other down. Honestly, I believe that you said it. You said it. If it's something good,
We'll touch on it briefly.
if I have a son that's going to college, that's good.
Right.
If I have a son that's going to jail, that's bad.
Mm.
The one going to jail would get more publicity in the black community than the one that's going
Yeah,
to
they bring
college.
him up more often. True.
From people praising him or got him down to people talking about him. But nobody will ever mention this one who's going to college, because in black community, misery loves company. And we have let misery literally move into our heads, and misery lives with us. So if I see something that resembles happiness and success, I am subconsciously going to tear it down at all costs. Even if it's a person of interest, like a person I call my friend or call my spouse. Think about it. In the black community, spouses tear each other down all the time.
Right.
It's nothing to see. So soon as the one leaves the room, I can't stand that. XYZ. The black community is, I can't stand my baby daddy. It's like, what did he do? He had the nerve to want to have his child this weekend. Who he think he is? Okay, that's a problem. But okay, you know what? That's an issue. But and that's what goes on in the black community. You said something that the mental health portion,
Right.
and you use a reference that I really love. Why are children worried about bills and stuff? You know why? Because we have literally went into single mother houses and told their male children they're the man of the house.
Mm.
So you were literally telling me, you got to take care of your mother. I'm 12. You know your mother needs you more now. So what he gonna do? Now he's sitting there worrying about his mother, who's making bad decisions because she can't financially take care of him.
Right.
Well, he probably has a father who could probably give the world to him, but she won't let him go stay with him. But that's another topic. But see, that's why you have a lot of these male children out here doing these stuff. And they'll be like, Marshawn, you coming that black woman, you wrong. Well, ask me this question. When you look at the homes of these black men who are out here killing each other, selling drugs, look at their home, who's at home?
Mm. Hey, man.
If you had talked to a black male, most of these rappers tell you, man, I had to sell for my family. Who you think part of that family? My mom. They ain't never selling drugs for their daddy.
Right.
Name me one rapper that said, yo, I was selling drugs for my daddy. No, usually if their daddy in the home, I saw my daddy work. I saw my daddy just hands come home bleeding. My daddy was so tired. These are facts. When it's the mother by herself, I saw my mom struggling. Think about it. I'm not lying.
Not even point.
So that's a problem in the black community. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to address that because we're too scared, because as Black men, we don't want to upset Black women, because most of us was raised by a Black woman. So we don't really want to upset Black women. But at the same time, how you get to the root of the issue? You expose it to the air.
Right.
So the truth of the matter is, until we address issues like that, we can't get past that until we sit up there and tell Black women, you can't raise children by yourselves. You can't. You can't. It's not designed to be like that. Children are not designed to be raised by themselves. So both parents need to be involved. Whether or not you like the other parent or not, both parents need to be involved.
Right.
But we don't address those issues. So you'll rather struggle. So now you have a 12-year-old child who's sitting there literally being told, because back in the day, people don't remember this. Back in the day, a lot of children had bills in their name. Some children had credit cards in their name.
Right.
Some children would turn 18 and was pull their credit report and realize they had bad credit from what their parents did.
True. Yeah.
So
electric bills, water bills, cable bills, trash bill.
And people don't want to address that issue. People don't want to address the issue of when your child turns 18, the first thing you say out of your mouth is, you get a job, you getting out this house. Did you prepare them to leave the home?
Exactly.
Did you give them the tools to leave the home? Oh, you about to graduate. Well, are they really graduating? How many kids did we really say graduate that really did not graduate? Like when I say graduate, I mean, how many kids can you say actually graduated with a sense of understanding what they're walking into the world? How many people was walking into the world with a skill set as far as knowing what they want to do, whether or not they went to college or not? How many of us did that? Let's be real. Half our kids don't even know what they want to be. And they're in the 12th grade.
No.
That's too late.
Yeah, it is too late.
So that's another issue. So we have so many issues that we need to address. A big issue we need to address is, why is it that we have the worst schools, but we have a community? Why is it that Black Lives Matter still allows our schools to be the worst schools? Why is it that Black Lives Matter still allows us to kill us, but y'all don't give this billion-dollar industry money for them to buy an island and sleep with their girlfriends?
Check on that again. Very good point, my friend. Very good point.
So once again, we have more parasites in our community than anything. We always sit up here and we say the white man. We say the white man. I'm gonna tell y'all like this, and I woke up one day, and trust me, this was hard for me. So trust me. Yes, slavery is a issue that we face every day. But Black slavery is an issue we face every day too. And we are dealing with a lot of Black racism in our community. We are dealing with a lot of Black isms. We're dealing with a lot of Black hatred. And that's with Black people and Black people. We're dealing with a lot of things that the white man doesn't have. Well, that's because of slavery. Yeah, well, you know what? We need to stop that. Slavery happened. We accept it because we have no choice now. We ain't got no time machine. So we have to accept slavery happened. We have to accept Jim Crow happened. But what we need to do is not let it be the norm. And that's the problem. We say it happened, but
what did we not do? We didn't move forward.
That's the point.
We didn't move forward.
But we did at one point. We did.
But what I told you we did, though.
We wanted to sit next to white folks on toilet seats. That's what Malcolm X said.
Well, but like I said, we took a step back. We were able to do that. We took a step back.
Mm-hmm. Not only did we take a step back, but mentally, we really regress mentally. Like,
of course,
it's crazy what we're producing now as far as children, adults. I mean, it's mind-boggling, and I don't think people really understand.
Because now everybody wants to be. Now the kids want to be a basketball player. They suck at basketball, or some kind of athlete. They suck at. They're not athletic at all. But their mom and dad push them. They want to be some kind of influencer. Now they might bad jobs to have, but we still need the doctors. We still need the carpenters. We still need electricians, HVAC guys. We need, pillars of the community.
Yes, those are that's you said the exact
pillars of the community. Those that we need to encourage. No, it's good to be a policeman. regardless of what's going on, not because it pay or the benefits, because why are you a pillar of the community? You're a protector of the community. You know, like I said, for those, yeah, they're supposed to protect and serve, but when they're not protecting and serving on some other stuff, they're not real policemen.
Right.
Okay, there's somebody who just took the job and decided to wear the badge when they happen to get a gun and whatever else to go with it. Believe me, there are people like that. There are people like that in the military. There are people like that in every walk of life there is.
Yeah, they get a little bit of authority.
Right.
And all of a sudden they're going to use it against who they felt threatened by when they were younger.
But we need more of us in these positions, in these jobs. Why? Because if they see more of us doing positive in these positions, people get a better insight and a better outlook on how we're supposed to conduct ourselves, what we're supposed to be a part of in this life, as opposed to trying to be the biggest drug dealer on the block, you know, or the best rapper on the corner, you know, or the best basketball court player in the blacktop or at school, you know, the greatest athlete, you know, in the area, which is cool, which is fine, you know, but always keep in mind, there's more to life than these simple things to get these material things, which lose value immediately as you take it out off the premises of a store, car lot, you know, wherever.
So I have a question for you because you brought up a good word. Do you think Black people are allergic to jobs? That we have gotten to the point now that we look at jobs like we look at. Think about it.
I'm not gonna say we're all allergic to jobs. It's just we've gotten away from encouraging the things that matter to us in our community, in our villages, in our neighborhoods. You know, because you think about it, I mean, you think some time ago, a lot of the communities that had somebody that was electrician,
of course,
somebody that was a carpenter, somebody in the neighborhood, or knew somebody that could do something in the neighborhood,
right?
You know, that was a pillar in the community, you know, or they know somebody, hey, that, you know, so and so was a police officer. When he was on his beat, he looked out for the neighborhood. He come by and make sure, or he heard something going on in the neighborhood, he steps in, you know, he makes sure that, hey, so and so's acting up. Let me go holler at him and see what his problem is. Hey, young man, look, either hey, you get right, or eventually I'm going to be the one looking at you through the jail cell, trying to figure out what I can do to make it not so bad, to either try to get you out of jail or not have such a long prison sentence. You know, so your mom and dad won't have to pay thousands of dollars to get you out of jail, or grandma
has your mortgage on that house.
Yeah, or grandma have to put that house up or property, you know, up to get you out of jail, you know, to get you out of issues, you know, for a lawyer. I mean, these are things that we've gotten away from. Like you asked me time again, can we get back to that? In a sense, not to where we're all living in the same proximity, but like I said, we have that network of people we can go to. And that shit don't have to be in the black yellow pages, but you just know somebody. Like it feels good to know that you could call somebody that may know somebody, or you might know the person to go to, or as the plug as we call it nowadays. You know, it's good to have it, and they just so happen to be, you know, in favor. And I'm the same color, necessarily be the same color, but they're in favor of your people, your community.
Okay, I agree. And the only reason why I bring that up is because we have this stigma in our community that if you work a 9 to 5, you're nothing. I mean, Chris Brown done talked about it. All the rappers done talked about it. But you know what? Females done talked about it.
But let me tell you that those are words of a fool.
I agree.
Those are words of a fool. Because you know why? He never had a man in his life that, or somebody, a male figure that put in hard work and and the people showed appreciation for it in that household.
That's fair. I agree with you on that. I do agree with you.
Because I'm not to cut you off. Think about it, on a lot of these shows, a lot of times where they show the guy, there's the girl, you know, married to the guy, puts in, works hard and everything. Every time he comes home, she's giving him a hard time about something. You know, if the bills aren't getting paid, we need money for this, we need money for that.
Right.
You know, whatever. You know, like you said, it demeans that man, showing the symptoms of that man coming on from putting in hard work to try to at least keep a roof over your head.
Right.
You know, mind you, there's 2 adults in this house. There's 2 adults in this house. I know a household of that like that right now.
That's another conversation.
You know what I'm saying? We're struggling,
That's
but there's 2 of us in this house.
Well, that's
And at the same time,
I'm ready for that conversation.
who here says this?
I'm ready.
Our daughters and our sons. You know, or just to say, if it's not if they hear uncle and auntie, you know what I'm saying, and we happen to be there, you know.
I'm ready for that conversation.
Like I said, we don't value each other like we should. We don't value, like I said, we sometimes allow outside entities tell us what our value is for somebody to put in that work. But at the same time, that same aunt, wife, whatever, you know, has, you know, the little side piece. Not a side piece, it's the guy she used to date or she knew from the neighborhood that's doing pretty good. Whether he's selling drugs or he done made it, making music, basketball, whatever, he's the prince that comes in, you know, and all of a sudden now there's a conflict between the man that's working hard and the guy who just happened to got it like that.
Right. And
just so happens to sit back in the picture and happens to find that woman. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
And the same thing, like I said, the things we see, we interpret, we feel that's the way we should be.
I like that.
You know, like I said, we allowed certain things to tell us how we should interact and how we should carry ourselves, but we know better from what mom and dad is always, or whoever, grandma, granddaddy, uncle, whoever, cousin, whoever showed us how to conduct ourselves, you know. But we feel that we see it on TV, or we hear about it, or we see it on the internet, that's how we should conduct ourselves.
Okay, I like that. So let's break down in these final minutes. Let's break down.
I forgot one more thing real quick.
Go ahead.
Before we do that, last one before we go, because there's some more I wanted to go into. Our health. I mean, our physical health.
Okay.
We need to go to see doctors. We need to be exercising. We need to be eating better. All right. We need to treat ourselves, our temple, as is mentioned in the good book, better than we do into ourselves.
Diametrics. That was a good book back in the day.
Okay.
I'm just messing that.
Yeah. Whatever. Like I said, we, you know, and crazy thing is, the tools of good living and good eating, everything we've been doing since the beginning of time. We just got away from it. You know, things aren't produced like they used to be produced. They were being produced in factories, laboratories, and whatnot. Like it goes for the fruits, the vegetables, or whatever. But like I said, it doesn't stop you from doing what's right, not, you know, by yourself and your family when it comes time to putting things into our bodies, you know.
No, I like what you said. That is true. We need to really do that.
Right.
I would say something that's very controversial. Man was not meant to live with animals. Take that how y'all want it. Man was. I
agree. I do
was
agree.
not meant to live with animals. That's why a lot of people walk around with skin diseases.
Right.
A lot of people have bad allergies.
Right.
And all this stuff because you're not meant to live with an animal. Right. That is their.
Right.
Look it up.
No,
separation of church and state was a reason.
Yeah, it's a very valid point. No, it's a very valid point. And I said, we need to take care of ourselves, our health. Like I said, go to these doctor's appointments. Find out what's going on with you. If you don't want to take the medicine, there's other ways to go out getting care. You can actually get rid of. I don't care what they say. You can actually get rid of certain diseases.
That's true. And I like that you brought that up because we tend to think of health as a person that's just walking around looking like they just walked out of a gym.
No,
and that's not health. No. Health is inner. Actually, if you really think about it, health starts from the inside
out. Yeah.
So if your digestive system is not right, then your whole body's messed up because you got to think about that's waste.
Right.
So you could work out all day long, but if you
ain't putting it out you ain't getting the waste out your body. You're not doing yourself any good. You know,
and taking care of yourself is way deeper than just sitting up in here trying to starve yourself.
Right.
You really got to look at what you put in your body, why you put it in your body is very important. Right. And for us in our community, what we did was we took that, they gave us the worst. We made it gourmet meals. Well, there's a reason why we called it the worst. And I like chitlins, but that's shit.
Yeah, basically everybody understand. So that's why I never ate it since then.
Like,
Okay, I
like chitlins. I'll put hot sauce.
I was never a fan.
You literally
My
clean
mama literally, people clean that shit with bleach
yeah.
before they eat it.
Some people clean chicken with bleach.
It's not a bad idea, but I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it, but that's what I'm saying. So,
but
understand
but just for that being the chitlins,
Yeah.
they clean it with bleach. Literally clean it shit with bleach.
You got to.
Exactly. If you gotta clean something with bleach in order to put it in your body, what in the world you think is gonna do you any good?
But we have gotten into this thing where we used to say these things. They gave us the worst. That's why we still eating it. And when we got to realize is we're not in that stage where we're starving.
Right.
Understanding when you're starving, you do things. But once you're not starving anymore, you clean up things too. So right now we're in a cleanup phase in our communities.
We should be in a cleanup phase.
We should be, exactly. We got to clean up a lot of these bad habits. And I'm gonna be the first to admit I have a lot of bad habits when it comes to food. I have an unhealthy relationship with food. And that's so honestly that's a term that I think Black people not understanding.
Yeah, this man ate a whole half a pound cake.
I have an unhealthy relationship.
Two different times.
I mean, sometimes we get along well, sometimes we don't.
Right, but you continue to work at it.
Right, and that's the thing we have to work at. We have to stop saying certain things. You know, one thing we have to be real, and I hate to say this, is not saying that you have to be mean to people, but sometimes you have to say, look, you look a little unhealthy. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with caring. That's how you care about a person. If you care about a person, you care about them enough to say, if you don't like me no more after this conversation, I accept that, but I can no longer allow you to be unhealthy. Right. It is not right. And we got a lot of people who are obese in our community, and we let it go because of this feminism movement where they say, oh, praise body imaging and everything. No, some things are just unhealthy. Not saying that they could be a size 0, but there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? You may be born, as we say, big bone, which is non-existent. Science has already proven big bone does not exist. That's just a saying that we came up with. But you can say you don't have to add to it.
No, you don't.
Of course, when we get older, we put on weight, but you don't have to add to it. You can change up your diet because you want to know something? A lot of y'all don't know this. The reason why some of y'all stink is because y'all ain't eating healthy. The reason why some of y'all sperm stinks is because y'all not eating healthy. Your body is going to expel this in one way or another.
It's going to come out your body one way or the other.
Exactly. Some people walk around with yeast infections like, wow, we got yeast infections because you ain't healthy.
Right.
You and then you ain't healthy, and then the person you with ain't healthy. So what you think? That's toxic waste. Right. Literally, we have toxic waste in our body.
Infection and disease to each other. That's what you're doing. But yeah, we need to take care of ourselves, our bodies. You know, like I said, take care of our bodies inside and out. Definitely. You know, and one thing I'm saying about diets.
Die.
No, don't die. Don't die. Diets are for, and I had to explain to somebody. Diets are for you to fix your body to function normally. In the sense, if I'm saying that right, it's I remember I used to say, and not to say to lose weight. You know, it's important to get your body to function correctly, or for it to function in a certain manner. You know, in a sense. You know, yes, they do help you lose weight, but you're losing weight in the sense of your body's function in a way to expel waste, burn calories in a certain manner. Right. You know, to take that something out of that food and take something out of what you put in your body and expelling the rest of it. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's it with me as far as a diet. You know, I said they work, but they work, like I said, to get your body to function properly or in a certain manner. To where, like I said, you can function and feel better. You know?
Yeah. And stop. Trust me when I tell you this. As much as you want to look at a female that just had a baby that's famous and they lost a baby weight within 3 weeks, that's not normal. We got to stop looking at these fitness people on YouTube and Instagram because a lot of them, number one, are lying to you. They do a lot more than just work out. And number two, you have to understand something. Not everybody's going to be small, and that's okay. but that doesn't mean you can't be healthy.
Yeah, you just gotta be comfortable with yourself.
If you don't believe me, look at football players. They be 300 pounds, but they be healthy.
Yeah.
They be moving around.
No, not necessarily, because like a lot of them, I don't know, for instance, like Mark Schlereth used to say, like,
well, yeah, he had to lose weight.
Yeah, you actually put on weight for him to play football.
But he was healthy. Well, I mean, his work.
Yeah, healthy. Yeah, he worked.
Yeah, of course.
But you remember how much stress you had to put on your body in order to function healthily in that size, and that's what a lot of athletes, like you said, you don't know what they're doing in order to get themselves ready to play that sport. You know, because like you said, a lot of them have to pack on a lot of muscle to play the game. And then when you see them years after they get out the game, they done lost.
Their bodies look like a lollipop. Right, he's a big head, little body.
Exactly.
But yeah, don't follow them. Do what's best for you, and if that means starting out walking, walk. If that means doing 30 minutes here, doing 30 minutes there, just get you a journal and start off here. Don't look at people and be like, I want to be like them, because you don't know what they did to be like that. And a lot of it is surgery. And to be honest with you,
or some kind of shortcut.
Yeah, it's a shortcut.
Some kind of crazy quote diet that you're saying.
Because anybody will tell you, if I really want to show you how I really work out, you will see me work out. You will see me sweating. How you tell me you working out and you don't sweat? I sweat waking up in the morning. You tell me you in the gym and you ain't sweating. And they make fun of me. They be like, you be leaving your DNA on the floor. I'll be looking at the left to the right of me. I'm like, why are they not sweating? That's literally. I just
man, gotta get it in.
Gotta get in. So just be careful with that, please. Yeah. I like that you brought that up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So back to what you saying to close out. I'm sorry.
No.
I do want to get that in.
No, I'm glad you got that in. So in closing, I want people to understand something. Rules and responsibilities are important, and also knowing your place is important. Why did I say that? We always say a village. So let's really look at a village. If you understand what village is, no, you don't, because I didn't understand what village is. A village is a group of people with particular sets of skills that come together for the betterment of the community. So when I say particular set of skills, not all of them do the same thing.
Right.
One of them can actually grow stuff, so they're in the garden growing. One of them can actually hunt, so they're out hunting. One of them is good at cooking, so they're cooking. One of them is good at doing the clothes and other maintenance. They're doing that. One of them is good at security, so they're doing that. In other words, everybody brings something different to the table. Why is that important? There's nothing wrong with having roles in life.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having a role in your family. There's nothing wrong with having roles and having traditional roles. Think about what I just said. In the community or the village, they all have roles. You didn't expect the person who was doing the actual planting and growing, tilting the ground to give us the vegetables or the fruit. You didn't expect them to go hunting.
Right.
That wasn't their job.
Right.
Just like the cook. You didn't expect the cook to do certain things because that wasn't their job. The baker, that wasn't their job. The person who did security, that wasn't their job to do something, because they all have, because they're part of the pie was that important.
Okay, good point. So
they have rules, responsibility, and roles. There's nothing wrong with that being today. And I think as Black people, we don't want that, because we think, oh, we're traditional. We ain't about that. Like, we this, we that. If the new way was working, we wouldn't have crime. Think about that.
You wouldn't have crime, wouldn't have hunger.
We wouldn't. If the new way was working, we wouldn't have it. If the old way was that bad, then the new way would improve on it. But we're worse now.
But before you close out, and I think because everybody wants to have that significant role, of these people that say that they feel it should be a significant role to where you get a spotlight. You get a spotlight, yeah, because how the village is still together.
Exactly. We're still no. You're absolutely right.
Everybody together. The village
everybody wants to be the village leader, but not realizing that the village leader take his cues from the village.
Yeah, because he knows that how the whole thing works. He brings it all together.
Exactly.
He knows how to see the big picture.
Yes. So
you want me to close it out?
Go ahead.
We're going to close it out. Thank you for watching. For those that did watch, or those that are about to watch. Oh man, let's see here. I'm gonna run this real quick. So, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud soon, Anchor. Let There Be Madness is what's called on Anchor. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube live, recorded on both. We got things coming up in the near future, very near future. Like I said, we're working on some other stuff with another fellow friend of ours or acquaintance of mine, good friend of his. Either way, he's family. Like I said, other concepts coming. Like I said, please watch, please share, please like, please input. Like I said, let us know what you like, what you think we need. More to come, more to follow. Uh, just more. Anything from you, sir?
More. I like that. More.
Okay, just more. Like I said, we working on more. So, like I said, by the end of this year, you think we're giving too much, but we still got more to give.
Yes. We're gonna be like Hassan Campbell. We're gonna have jury on and everything, tell you how bad your life is.
Wow, that's bad. Some bad stuff. But thank you for watching. Like I said, please stay tuned. Like I said, shout us out. Let your friends know. Share, subscribe, and so forth. And you have a good evening.
We're out.